Man, I don't even know where to start with this XRP update. We got some very interesting news coming against the SEC, an XRPL upgrade, and more importantly, a view from Gary Gensler as to exactly why XRP, well, isn't a security anymore. And actually, the SEC have just kind of wasted their time over the last few months. It's all pretty wild, as well as some bullish momentum and everything else. Just hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get into this one. So I want to start off by talking about RLUSD, and this will lead into kind of everything else that we've been talking about, but strategic testing has been going on specifically around RLUSD and why it's going to be significant when you talk about XRPL and you talk about tokenization of assets. Now, we're going to get Gary Gensler to tell us exactly what that looks like in just a minute, but the last 24 hours, a stablecoin tracker reported that 100 RLUSD tokens were burned in 2 batches alongside the issuance. Demonstrates a strategic approach to managing the circulating supply. Now, I talked about this in my previous update video, but it says the burning process involves permanently removing tokens from circulation, helping to control inflation and stabilizing the token against the US dollar. Now, this also supports the narrative around the interest from significant parties, namely from Bitwise and Matt Hogan. He highlighted the promising outlook, especially anticipated conclusion of the SEC lawsuit. We're all expecting that October the 7th. But for me, this shows there is a real strategicness around our USD. And actually, when it comes to the tokenization of the blockchain or the XRPL, then our USD is going to play a significant part in that. You only have to look in terms of what they're doing with the XRPL to understand the new 1 amendment for XRP and mainnet. And don't forget programmability features on the XRPL. Well, why would this be important? I quote, potential upgrade is to integrate smart contracts into the blockchain, unlocking new features such as non-fungible tokens, AMMs, and decentralized exchanges on the network. There is also a plan to introduce an XRPL EVM sidechain in the coming months. And we've kind of broke down that EVM sidechain, what that could look like. But the actual integration of potential smart contracts is huge when it talks about XRPL. Why? Because the financial markets that want to come into this, they get a complete use case. Don't forget XRPL and the AMM on their offering recall transactions, which could be big for the banking sector. So these are 2 huge developments for XRPL, but more importantly, aligned to a narrative that RLUSD is going to come out and be supported extensively. And again, when you've got people like Matt Hogan at Bitwise bullish on what this looks like, this can only be a positive thing. Again, the burning of RLUSD on the Ethereum network as well is absolutely critical. And when you think about that in the longer term, this is why you have people getting more excited about XRP. You've got obviously a couple of key dates coming up very soon around October 7th, where hopefully the SEC and the Ripple case is put to bed. I mean, even today, Gary Gensler did his view of a good job of getting this to the end when he talked about securities. Listen to this.
Chair Gensler, we continue to hear about the benefits of tokenization and have seen large asset managers like Franklin Templeton use blockchain to digitize their assets. The SEC has approved several of these products. Do you see any evidence that the savings realized by the asset issuers is being passed on to the consumer?
I'm not familiar enough with any one of the projects, but regardless of where somebody stores their ledger, if they tokenize security, an equity, a bond, or an investment contract, it's important to make sure that the investors and the investing public have the disclosures they need. But just putting something on a tokenization, on a blockchain ledger, doesn't change the economics. It's whether it's a good investment. And we stay merit neutral on that.
I yield back.
So at least it's good to know that, well, Gary has a view on, well, securities. And apparently if you're going to tokenize assets, it doesn't matter. And it's the original financial market that is the important one. So very interesting view. And actually, Gary Gensler put under the fire. His feet was well and truly held to the flames today, specifically talking about his tyrannical raid on cryptocurrency. In fact, Tom Emner himself really going after Gary Gensler. Listen to this.
To talk about the next generation of American finance. And perhaps somehow, worst of all, you've made up the term crypto asset security. This term is nowhere to be found in statute. You made it up. You never provided any interpretive guidance on how crypto asset security might be defined within the walls of your SEC. Yet, you made the broad proclamation that you believe a majority of tokens are crypto asset securities. You did this, and you would deliberately use this made-up term as the basis for your entire enforcement crusade over the past 3 years, only for your lawyers to retract it in a footnote to a court just last week. Your inconsistencies on this issue, sir, have set this country back. We could not have had a more historically destructive or lawless chairman of the SEC.
So all wrapped up in a nice, neat bow. We're actually seeing the markets move a little bit on the back of it. But again, this is why people are getting more bullish about XRP and why I am still holding and why I believe this is going to be a big move. Crypto analyst Dark Defender is confident that XRP can reach $1 soon enough. He stated XRP is ready to tear the last weekly immaturity candles, which is around 6649. He predicts that imminent move to the upside will eliminate the January 2018 resistance. Lots of people calling for an even bigger move when it comes to XRP. But like I've said in a number of videos, let's just get the first key points. Well, what are they? Well, again, I talked about this yesterday. This move to the upside. What's interesting now is you look at some of the moving averages that are starting to move to the upside. So namely here, we have the 50-day simple moving average that is starting to move quite nicely to the upside. Let me just get rid of some of these. And then we are starting to see this pattern play out that we talked about the other day on our video. This move up here, this retest of the 9th of October that we're absolutely aligning ourselves to, and ultimately therefore getting into a place where we are going to see a significant move on the price of XRP. And it's hard not to be bullish. It's hard not to kind of feel exactly where we're going to get to, and more importantly, what some of these key measures are going to be as the market matures and as we're heading to that big bull market. Like I said, we want to see this retest of this upper range all ahead of the October the 9th day. But a decent move today. 60 cents could be on the cards if Bitcoin keeps rallying. We may even see that retest of 65,000, in which I'm very bullish, as I'm sure you are. And if you are, please let's share this video far and wide. Hit that like button. You guys have been killing it recently. And if you're interested in any of the links down in the description, do check them out. We've got one for Trade Assist as well as MEXC, so you can go trade some futures if you're interested. But until the next video, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.